of play. We know that in Mobile Legends Bang Bang, on a mobile game, you really want to focus on going for objectives, especially going for the turrets, because that is your objective. You want to go take down the base of your opponent.
Yeah, objective gaming will be very, very strong for the side of Malaysia. We'll see what they can put up with, but the thing is, we're missing quite a bit of magic damage from the side of Malaysia. I mean, if you look at the draft here, they will be missing early engage, but they hope to shape up in terms of the later game. That's what we're looking to see. The late game for Malaysia looks very, very strong.
Well, they're going to be depending on the Kimi for the magic damage source in here. That lone Kimi. We know that the Kimi has two kind of damage. It could be physical or magic. But just like what you have mentioned, Illustrado, it's going to be very difficult.
We are just about to start off here, but before we go and dive into the game really quickly, I'm going to say at the moment, I think Malaysia has a slightly bigger edge here. It's going to be hard to say. It's going to be all about execution, especially in terms of the early game. Malaysia will need that early game to be successful. But here we go. Let's dive straight into the Land of Dawn. And it's going to be the first game of the series, the first game of the tournament, and the first esport game of history here in the Southeast Asian Games.
Wow.
2019.
Yeah, 2019. And as you can see, pretty much all of the players right now laning on where they want to lane at the moment. So, just a quick bring up of the lineup for Team Malaysia. We have in here Abdul Kadir for the Akai, Ons for the Grok, Hamstreet for the Leomord, Nurola for this, there you go.
There you go.
Abdullah for the Kimi, Nurola for the Claude.
Yeah, and on the other side, it's going to be Wen on the X-Borg. Same, it's going to be Wen as well on the High Loss. It's going to be Din here at the Esmeralda. Lolita's going to be played by Pham and Pham as well. Oh, look at this.
You can see here a very aggressive move by Team Vietnam at the moment onto the top lane. However, still fight ongoing right now. Another kill, just a one-for-one exchange. Look at the aggressive move by both of the teams right now. Oh, but in the bottom lane, I think we have to see in here 3v1 situation. Nguyen and MH will fall down.
And what a good trade and engagement coming in there from Malaysia. Fell a little bit short earlier on, going down 1-1, but now we're easily seeing a 2-1 exchange. And Malaysia taking affirmative action. Now they're going to be trying to take away that bottom lane tower. This should give them the early advantage, and we said this much earlier on. Early game is where it's at here for Malaysia. They want that Kimi to take objectives.
Yes, objective gaming is the name of the game for Team Malaysia. Right now taking the tier 1 turret onto the middle lane. Just right within 2-minute game time.
Yeah. Very quick turret, and that's what you want to see, especially when you have a Kimi. The thing with having a Kimi is that you want it to be able, the Kimi to be able to take those turrets early on. Objectives allow you to secure map pressure onto the opponent's side and allow you to be able to dominate the map.
Map pressure, that's what they did. Making sure that they will send over 3 heroes onto the bottom lane part of the map. I think that is the weakest lane that they have found out against Team Vietnam, and they were able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, well, once they saw that there were multiple people topside for Vietnam, they were able to rotate bottom lane, say we'll take that 1-for-1 exchange, rotate all the way to bottom, and then manage to shut down that bottom lane itself. They did a fantastic job of doing that, but it's all about what they do from here. Taking that bottom lane tower is going to allow them access into the lower half of the jungle. For the side of Malaysia,
True.
They can get into the Vietnamese jungle. However, it's not exactly the best lane to have pushed, and we can still see what Vietnam can respond with. I will bet you right now that it's going to be all up to the turtle.
It's going to be all up to the turtle. Well, it depends on where the turtle is, because that will be the next contestant, right? For those who don't know or not very familiar with Mobile Legends Bang Bang objectives, well, taking the turtle will give you a lot of gold in your team.
Yeah.
For all of the heroes in your team.
Yeah, and as well as a buff that gives you added damage, makes you much more painful. So all those assassins could use with the extra buff will be a little bit more painful. That's exactly what you want to see. Early turtle buff, especially on the Kimi, going to be able to shut down some lanes. Malaysia's off to a good start, but we'll see if they're able to come back and say bounce back for the side of Vietnam here.
Well, Vietnam in here having a Granger right now. We know that Granger is very much more effective sometime mid to late game time, but given that the Claude and Kimi getting the early secure of an objective right now, the tier 1 turret on the bottom lane, at the same time securing kills early game time as well, they might go for an early snowball, and there you go. We can see right now, Turtle has been slain by Team Malaysia. However, Team Vietnam seems like they want to go for an exchange in here by taking down the Huron turret, but unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. And good take right there from the Turtle. It is going to be allowing them an early advantage here. But let's take a look at the mid lane here. Din still really not able to snowball as much as she wants. Still able to get some farm in. But look at this quick engage right here in the middle. On's going to get caught off. But this engage is going to happen right now.
And there you go. We continue in. 4 members transitioning from the side of Team Vietnam onto the top lane. They want to take this down. However, Team Malaysia is just very responsive on this time. Oh, Akai able to back away. Will be dashing away that moment. However, oh, look at the last hit coming from Bam.
Desonada was absolutely on form, able to hit multiple attacks, and very, very cleanly able to secure it. So well done from them to get that counter engage in. It was a very good offensive move. Bounce back right now from the side of Vietnam. They're able to quickly come back.
Well, although they have in here, holding that thought, we have in here a fight ongoing onto the mid lane, 2v2 or 3v2 situation ongoing so low in HP, and Abdullah in the meantime,
Numenon Blast is cancelled. And it's absolutely beautiful. And it's a turnaround here. They canceled the Numenon Blast, and what would have been Abdullah's demise has been turned around. Then looking for that chase here. Doesn't want to go that far in. Looking to contest that crab, but now it's going to be top lane to shove.
She can't be too aggressive on the bottom lane part of the map because she was all alone in there. That Esmeralda is all alone. Meanwhile, initiate retreat. Top lane. Just providing visioning here is the high loss because it seems like they don't want to let the Leomord to actually take or make a push onto the top lane.
The thing with Esmeralda is if you let her get a kill early on and snowball, she's going to be very, very difficult to kill. So we'll see if this proves true. Nice stun right there from Fam, getting that bulwark up very, very nicely, preventing some damage to her team rather. But Turtle is up now again for contestation.
Definitely for contestation, but we have, once the Turtle goes up, definitely these teams they will not just take this one away without having a second thought. Okay, are there any other members here from the opponent side? But meanwhile, let's take a look at what the Claude just did there on the vulnerable part of that. It's a very fast clear, given that this Claude is currently just free farming onto the bot.
But here we go, top lane down, nice engagement, gonna be stunned up in silence and finished off. That Spam's gonna go down, pinned up against the wall, Hurricane Dance, but here comes High Loss, trying to go with the glorious fast way. Now it's Wen. Has to fall back, not going to make use of his ultimate right there, but he somehow managed to survive. It's a 1-0 exchange. Could be a Turtle for Malaysia.
Really good move, at least, to defend the tier 1 turret on the top lane. Meanwhile, Malaysia has an upper advantage in here by contesting the Turtle right now, having 4 members around that area, and looks like it'll be getting the last hit almost. That Fam making up to the last hit or a steal onto the Turtle. Meanwhile, look at the score right now. It's 3-4 in favor of Team Malaysia, and they got a 3K gold lead at the same time.
Pretty good start here. Malaysia able to swing back and forth. Malaysia and Vietnam right now, they're going blow for blow. No one's really pulling ahead by far up. It's really just been trades all day long. Objective,
what is happening? Onto the top lane. It's a 3v2 situation ongoing still. Almoy and HC trying to make a difference, but however, they're gonna just let Team Malaysia take the turret away. Oh, real nice wall by On. However, Fam VM still able to back away.
Yeah, slipping through that angle really quickly, unable to really pin that Lolita. But here we go, Wen looking to contest that. It's going to be a good wild charge right here, but it's going to be On. He's in a little bit of trouble, trying to escape, and he's going to be surviving just fine. Look at this aggression here coming out from Malaysia. Despite the fact that they're a little bit behind, they're still not afraid to take a fight. I want to point out the gold difference though. Take a look at Malaysia's gold, 18 gold, but as I say that, they're going to lose another one.
Team fight ongoing onto the mid. Hampton getting that kill right very much easily. And Team Malaysia is actually having a good time right now onto the top lane as well, since the bottom lane part of the map, the bit of blast getting casted in here will not connect to anyone. So, map contestant right now.
Yeah, very good. Yes. It is good, pretty good, but also I do want to point out a number of questionable plays from Malaysia. They used like, I think, 3 ultis to try to defend that tower when they didn't need to, but now they have no ultis to fight. As I say that, again, Malaysia now looking for the offensive here, trying to mount an attack, but now going to try to fall back. They do have an advantage because, as I said, Vietnam have no ultimates, no cooldowns.
You know what? I'm really liking the rotation of Team Malaysia right now. They're rotating as to where the Turtle's going to go up next.
Yeah, now mid, a little bit of pressure. 7 seconds left. Still trying to hold on to this mid lane
Their
tower.
next target is this middle lane turret. This Tier 1 middle lane's hurt. They will flicker in and go for all in for a team fight. Look at that blazing duet coming on from the Cloud. However, the Venom Blast being casted in here will not connect and will not be successful. One member left defending the middle lane at the moment. It seems like this Din will not survive.
Yeah, definitely not. Turtle now must be rested by Malaysia. Should be an easy one because it is a 3-for-none exchange on the side of Malaysia. Should be a clean Turtle.
Oh no.
Ooh, that's not gonna connect onto anybody.
I think this time, Malaysia has to back away. They are very low in HP bar, and they just made the right decision.
Yep.
The next objective is going to go up. It is the Lord in about 106 seconds.
But now, as you can see, Malaysia starting to slip away in terms of the gold lead. Look at the gold difference here. 24,600 now, as opposed to 17,800 for Vietnam. That's a pretty significant lead. 8 minutes on.
I think we had a little bit of problem a while ago when Team Vietnam allowed the Cloud to just really farm onto the bottom lane part of the map. Look at what is happening.
Last Insanity gonna do a lot of damage. No Parag armor, that's gonna be a blazing duet. Beautifully done by Norola here, trying to get pinned onto Din. Gonna try to escape, not gonna be able to survive here. And that's gonna be a 1-for-0 exchange.
Oh no, this is looking bad for Team Vietnam at the moment. There is a lot for them to catch, at least to make it up onto the late game. The wall getting set up in here. Unfortunately, there is no limit coming up from the Gurok at the same time, but he will survive the next target.
Nice catch right there from Fam. He's going to be able to stun him up. Wen goes down very low, and he gets taken down. Abdullah, beautifully done. Picks him off from long range. Out of position was that Kimmy. Out of position was Xborg.
This is objective after objective for Team Malaysia. They're really taking that tier 2 turret onto the top lane. They even wanted to get the inhibitor turret on the top, but look at that. Hylos as well as the Esmeralda wanting to make a defense onto the top, but look at the minimap at the moment onto the top left part of the screen. As you can see, it is turning into color red.
Yeah, it is a very, very red-dominated map here. The funny thing is, if you've noticed, blue side Vietnam, they haven't really taken any objectives yet. I think they managed to secure one turtle earlier on. Not even sure about that, but they actually haven't taken tower, so that's very much a problem. And the reason why this is a problem is because if you don't have mid tower, if you don't have top or bottom lane, you don't have any access to the jungle of the opposing team. You don't have any map control, and that's going to lock you out of your farm. Now they're locked into their own base farming, and they can't really get any farm at all.
Yes, and just so you know, guys, everyone who's currently watching right now, this is going to be a best of 2 round robin match for all of our group stages for the first day of Mobile Legends Bang Bang. So points will definitely matter in here.
You do definitely want that clean 2 games in a row because you want to be able to go up ahead. We don't have a lot of games on our hand here. You don't have a lot of opportunities, so you need to be able to do your best performance every single time you step on stage, every single time you come up there and represent your nation. That's definitely what you have to do, because if you fall short for a second, you might get eliminated.
Especially we know that in each group, we will, the top rank or the first one in the leaderboard will be going up to the playoffs and will be placed onto the upper bracket, and the rank 2 on the leaderboard of each group will be falling onto the lower bracket of the playoff stage.
Yeah, you do want that, and if you want to get into the medal rounds and hopefully secure your nation a gold medal, better chances if you get that top placement and get into the upper bracket. You do have basically what seems to be an extra life, so to speak, or one up.
And we're currently just on a pause because, you know, this is, again, the first time that technology kind of game will be placed into esports. So something like that sometimes is out of our control.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah, it's bound to happen.
It's bound to happen. And so, you know, when it comes to moments like this, it's a good opportunity to just talk and chat. Strategize. Have your teams think a little bit, because as we know, in a lot of esports, there aren't really what we call timeouts. Very few esports have that. So opportunities like these to breathe, strategize, maybe break momentum, or rather find momentum sometimes, they're invaluable, actually.
Definitely a good time for Team Vietnam to think what are going to do next now that the Team Malaysia is currently on a lead.
Here we go, diving back into the game. Malaysia with a lead that is just mounting higher and higher. Question is, can Vietnam climb it and ascend?
Let's see what can Team Vietnam do in this kind of situation that there is a lot of pressure right now. It is a 10k or a 10,000 gold lead by Team Malaysia at this almost 10-minute game time, and they're actually, it seems like they're looking on to trying to get this first Lord of the game. What is up by taking the Lord?
Well, when you get the Lord, you're able to have basically a very, very large siege minion, very large siege creep to basically break down the opposing base. It will march alongside you into the lane which is most damaged. In this case, it's going to be Malaysia's top lane, which will also make life more difficult for Vietnam because they'll be pushed back into their base.
Yes, just like what you have mentioned a while ago. Top lane already, the Lord is already walking towards that lane. That is the weakest lane of Team Vietnam right now. As you can see, there is a lesser health in the inhibitor turret on the top lane of Team Vietnam.
Yeah, and as you can see, Lord already making its way down top lane. Gonna be a nuisance, gonna be a problem here for Team Vietnam. See what they can do.
Let's see what they can do. Happy defense for Team Vietnam at this moment in time. The pressure is in, coming from Team Malaysia.
Oh,
The
dive in.
Oh, look at the dive coming up from Abdul Kadir right now. That was very dangerous move.
Very big misplay, wastes the immortality right there. Unable to find anyone going in, but look at the pressure here. Top lane, they might actually get a tier 3. They actually do. Tier 3 mid goes down. They could actually get the top, or they do as well. Lord goes down now. Last Insanity coming in. Went in trouble. That's going to be a Numenal Blast canceled. Now it's a beautiful knockoff on the Blazing Duet. Now coming in. Going to be Durola. Going to get one kill right there. Finds it onto Hamskin instead. It's going to be a mega kill for him. Glorious Pathway coming in. Could be the cleanup with Barbiel.
And they want to make this fast. Team Malaysia will get the first win of our first series for Vietnam versus Malaysia.